Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, you're highly welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, you're also welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome back. My name is Justina, Tina for short. Today we have a very interesting topic to talk about, which is things you should know before you start working as a Chinese translator, or things you should know before you start working generally in a Chinese company. Please like this video and share to your friends. Leave a comment because I'll be always waiting to read your comment. Remember to subscribe and follow for more. Click on the notification bell so that you always know when my next video comes up. So you want to find out all about what I just said now? Let's begin. Number one on my list is you have to be tolerant. Yes, you have to be calming down in Nigerian language. This one is very funny. Why I say you have to be tolerant is working with Chinese is quite challenging because you have to excuse some certain attitudes, you have to excuse some certain behaviors from them, especially your bosses. I've worked somewhere where I was eating avocado, pear and bread, and then one of them walks up to me and started smelling my avocado pear. I don't know, maybe he hasn't seen it before or he was curious about what it is. But then why do you need to smell my food, the food I'm preparing to eat? Like I'm wrapping the pear and bread to put in my mouth, and you just approached me and started smelling my food. It was weird and very, very annoying. You know, why would you do something like that? So in some cases, some of them might just be unnecessarily mean and harsh to you. Some of them will just be too demanding of your service. Some of them will be too... There's this word I'm looking for, but I can't find it right now. So I'll use an example for you. I also worked in a place where I was working as most of the times when you get employed as a translator, you help them to manage the workers. You understand? So I was in charge of, supervising the workers in the workshop. Yeah. I also, document their names and attendance sheet so that we can be able to use it to calculate for their salary, because your salary is calculated based on your daily attendance. Did you come to work or you didn't come to work? I also do some inventory when some materials come in and goes out of the company. That's basically what I do. So some of them can be too demanding, like they will expect you to do things like a robot. You understand? Some of them will don't even want you to sit down. Like in this case, oh my god, I barely have time to sit down. Like if I sit down small time, they'll be like, you should be going out, you should be doing this one, you should be talking to them, you should go and check the workers, forgetting that you're a human. You understand? Some of them will be unnecessarily mean to you. Like there's nothing that you do they are going to like. You understand? These are the things you have to be tolerant about. You understand? It might be different in different organizations, but this generally you have to have tolerance. You understand? You have to be calming down. If you're the type that is not very tolerant or some certain nagging, expect you to be a robot kind of lifestyle, please, this career is not for you. The number two on my list is, if you are not ready for work, please don't go to work as a Chinese translator, or don't go to work in a Chinese firm, because you hear people say Chinese are workaholics, these people too like work, blah 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 blah. It's actually true. Chinese, they believe in work, they believe in productivity, they believe in money is equal to hard work. If you're not ready to work hard, this particular profession or work is not for you. Please don't go. because you'll be expected to work. Although for some people their work is very, 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 very soft, but it's majority of the time you are expected to work hard. And Chinese appreciate, like, they really like it when they have somebody that is working. They'll tell you, oh, take a ren. They are always happy when they have someone that is hardworking. You know, you're here, you're doing this, even before they mention it, you've already done it, or like immediately they mention it, you already know, or you know what to do. You already know what to do. You're versatile. They like it because that is who they are. They are hardworking people. And so if you're not ready to work, my dear, please don't go to do work with them. Number 3 is you have to be registered under the AFLAN, Association of Foreign Language Translators of Nigeria, AFLAN. This body is a body that covers both the Chinese translators and other translators here in Nigeria. Even in diaspora, there are other language translators as well. So if you are looking to venture into this particular profession, please make sure to register. Every other profession have their own body, you know. The barristers have their association, the teachers have their association, and so many other professions too. They have the association that governs them. So to be on a safer side, it is good you get you associate yourself with this body. It provides protection, it provides orientation, the right work orientation to you. It protects you basically from some things that, you know, that might come up along the way. Part of what AFLAN also stands for is providing jobs. They provide jobs for Chinese language translators and other translators of other languages. It could be French, it could be German, it could be Spanish. There are job opportunities that come and they share it in the platform, and those that are interested will get jobs. So these are part of the benefit you get as a member of AFLAN. So make sure to belong to AFLAN as a Chinese translator. It saves you a lot. Number 4 on my list is working with the Chinese. You have to be very smart. Not too smart, but you have to have some level of smartness in you. Why I say so is, you know, Chinese are very smart people. They are very smart people. They love it when, or they like it when, you know, in situations that call for smartness, you are up to the game. You know, you know how to, you have a problem solving kind of skill. That's the kind of smartness I mean. You know, when they call for this, you can be able to jiggle it. You know, you have this problem solving ability in you. And then another thing why you should be smart is there are sometimes they add extra work to your work which they never initially discuss with you before you started work. You know, there's always a situation like this for almost every translator. So it is your smartness that will be able to tell you, am I being disadvantaged in this kind of situation, or am I being put at an advantage? I'll use my experience as an example to you so you understand what I mean. There was a time I worked in Nasarawa state of Nigeria. I worked in a tile producing company. They use large chunks of stones to produce tiles. There was a guy I worked with in the same office. He was their account officer. He also does the inventory. He takes stocks of products that were sold, and that those that were produced, those that were broken, and those that spoiled, things like that. So anytime he goes on leave or he's not on seat, you know, the work has to pile up till when he comes back. So they needed somebody that can fill his place before he returns, you know, so that work can be finished and they can put it in the system. If is not on seat that day, the system will have no inventory for that day because someone is not ready. They needed someone to cover for the period that he wouldn't be around. And then boom, they thought of me. I was employed as a translator. In my employment letter, it's written, yes, I could be called to do some jobs in the future that might not be exactly as a translator. You understand? So I asked the HR then to elaborate on what they meant by it. And he told me that, I shouldn't worry about it. There's no need to panic, blah, 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 blah. That they are not going to ask me to start sweeping the floor. In his voice, said it will always be around my job description as a translator. This is also where smartness calls for. So when he made that statement, I decided to, die everything down, since he said it will always be around my job description. So all of a sudden, they asked me to be covering up for the guy. I said, this is not our agreement. How about you add something to my salary? You augment my salary because you are adding another job description to the already existing job I have. So that is where fight started. That is where the misunderstanding started. And they refused. I had to call the president of AFLAN, which I mentioned earlier, and he asked, the situation. I told him everything the HR said and what the Chinese are saying. He then asked, what exactly is the job about? I explained to him, is that related to accounting, taking inventory. There's some calculations that are also, and you have to be careful, so you don't make mistakes, because this calculation, you have to be extremely careful about doing this. So I explained to him all this, and he told me I shouldn't ask for the raise, because this is an opportunity for you to learn a skill that you will not pay a dime to learn it. That if I should check, that accountant read accountancy in school. That was why he was able to get a job of that nature. But as a translator, I can learn that skill without paying a dime, which could, help me in the future. I could work somewhere else where I will need this accounting skill, and it wouldn't be a big deal for me because I have done it. So in this situation, you have to be very smart, so if you are in a position that will put you at an advantage or at a disadvantage. Sometimes these opportunities present themselves as an advantage, but it is clearly a disadvantage to you. While sometimes these jobs are looking like it puts you in no advantage at all. But if you think about it, then you see that the advantages outweighs the disadvantage. Then you go for it. Another important thing is you should be confident and bold enough to be able to say yes or no, especially no. In all work professions, especially for ladies, there's some sexual harassment going on. So as a Chinese translator, whether male or female, sexual harassment has no gender boundaries to it. But mostly, I'm talking for the female because I have experienced the female version of it. I have experienced some sexual harassment during work. You should be able to say no, you understand, unless you enjoy it, which is not professional at all. I don't know why you should have some job description saying you are going to be a translator for this company, and then you also want me to be a button that you be pressing once in a while. That's not my job description. I don't enjoy it. I hate it. It pains me. No. That one, I am even willing to resign immediately. If it's as in, when I know that I can't manage it anymore, I will resign immediately. So you too should be able to say no, especially for sexual harassment. It shouldn't be condoned in a working environment. Secondly, sometimes you'll be asked to join the cleaners in doing some certain things, which is not part of your job. It doesn't give you any advantage whatsoever. You should be able to stand your ground and say no. Another thing about learning how to say no and being confident while working as a Chinese translator, you find out that you can be given accommodations that are not good. They are not even where human beings can stay. There's some places they'll provide for you and it's looking like a good house. My sister, run with your two legs. There are some obvious scenarios that you don't need God to tell you to run. My sister, my brother, run. No matter the amount they'll be paying you, run, because there's something you don't know. When someone offers you something, they know that normally everybody should say no, but they just want to test you if you say yes, and then surprisingly you say yes. If your value was here, your value comes down. That is what the impression you give them. Then that is how you reduce your value. So do not lower your standard. Do not lower your value because of what? Money. And there are several other incidents. There's a place I worked. This is my room. The room I'm sharing the same wall with is a generator. A factory generator. The noise, the smoke. I had to japa. I ran for my life. These are the things you say no to for your health and for your value, because their own house is very far from that generator. Why would they think that the workers and the translators can stay there? If you can stay as a human being, then I as a human being can stay. So it's a no for me, and it should be a no for you, and a no for several other conditions and situations that will come up. So please say no when it's necessary, and say yes if it is necessary as well. Be smart. So if you're already in this profession, or you are looking to be a Chinese translator, these are the things you should know. You should be able to say no and be bold enough to say no. Sometimes you'll be threatened that you'll be sacked. Show them that you can even quit before you even be sacked. Me, I don't know how to explain it, but I can tolerate, but there's some boundaries you shouldn't cross, because it's a total, blunt and capital no for me. I know when to say yes as well. There are some cases when you can be flexible, and some places you don't have to be flexible at all. You need discretion, and you need to be smart about this, about making your choices, and you have to be confident and bold enough to say your no when you say no, and stop feeling guilty for it. If it demands you to quit your job because you are sexually harassed, please do it. You should be proud of yourself if you do. So in conclusion, I hope you've learned a lot, especially for intending Chinese translators. Learn from all these things. Stand up for yourself and be yourself. You understand? You can improve. Know when to say yes and know when to say no. Improve on yourself and be better. Remember to like and comment on this video. Also share to your friends, and remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Click on the notification bell so that you always know when my next video comes up. Thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.